Yes, as usual. Boxing fans, hello, wagwan, shalom, salam, alaikum. Now, um, Hughie Fury was meant to fight on July the 2nd. He's Michael Hunter, a decent fight. I'm not necessarily for excitement, but for there's not a lot of dangerous or even decent heavyweights around, so it will be interesting. But it's been postponed. Yeah, allegedly, Hughie fell ill. There's no details. He just fell ill. Um, these days you have to regard everything with suspicion. If they, if they produce some medical records or something like that, you might be like, okay, fair enough. Maybe he's got the AIDS. I don't know, man. Because Hughie pulled out a few fights, I think, and he also has some kind of illness. Apparently, he had some illness where his energy levels were low and it was something to do with food, but they'd fixed it or something like that. He also had these huge boils on his body. These big zits. You remember one of them popped in the middle of a fight. I mean, I bet that guy wasn't going to try and fight in the pocket, as they say, after seeing that. But yeah, and Hatton, Ricky Hatton, Marco Antonio Barrera, was also in Manchester on the same night on a different promotion, but they've cancelled that as well because it was meant to be like a Sky Sports double bill. Areke vs Barrera and Hughie vs Hunter, but they've both been pulled off. I mean, I'm disappointed. It's like 50%. Well, I'm not disappointed about the Hatton Barrera. I couldn't give a rat's pum about that. But I think the Hughie Fury Hunter fight meant something. Let's just say that. I've heard rumours. I mean, most of these are true. There are very few tickets sold. Someone said they sold 30 tickets for the Fury fight. I can't believe it's that low. Come on, man. But regardless, the Hatton fight, allegedly, according to, not Ticketmaster, but something like that, was almost sold out. But if that's the case, why they pull out? They're originally linked to Fight TV. I'm going to do a pay-per-view of $10.99, and they pulled out as well. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. So typical of boxing, man. Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, people were saying about Hughie's been a bit of a disappointment as a pro. He's not bad, right? But he seems to lack power. Yeah. Some people said, "Oh, he's on drugs," and well, if he is, by that I don't mean like yayo, I mean like PEDs. But if he's on PEDs, he's doing the wrong ones. He needs to get with Gay J's physician in Dubai. To know what to do, because he doesn't punch hard. His body, it's not muscles. He doesn't look super athletic. He's got this huge head. He looks like like a farmer version of Harry Kane, to be honest with you. But he's got a big head, which usually means you can take a punch. I think, he's just hard boxer. I don't know. He's been brought up to be, a boxer all his life. He wasn't allowed to have a girlfriend by Peter. For years, forever maybe. So he concentrated on boxing. And then Savannah Marshall's been brought in a camp. Yeah, I like Savvy, man. She's nice, she's sweet, she's shy. She's got 12 GCSEs, some A levels. But so apparently she linked up with Hughie. It must be a weird situation. Someone with an education, a high IQ, be some farm boy with IQ of 50. But I like Hughie, saying that, man. Sorry, man, I'm tired, man, if I'm speaking a bit slow, but... and they called Hughie the white Muhammad Ali. Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah. Hennessy. Mick Hennessy, the fat guy? The pink potato head. So he said, you know what, like, he was talking about Hughie, and goes, he's got shades of Muhammad Ali here when he's boxing. I mean, I think it's a bit excessive. He's not a bad boxer, but... people talk nonsense in boxing, People talk nonsense. Gareth, the arsehole Davis, Gareth A. Davis. He should be called Gary Davis. He once said, Ebony Bitches was the female Muhammad Ali. Can you imagine anything so ridiculous and insulting? Not even a casual, not even a person who knew nothing about boxing would come out with this nonsense. But let me tell you, man, these boxers don't know shit. Yeah? Basically. They get their position because they know someone and they annoy him enough to go. And it's not well paid boxing writers. That's why there are not that many good boxing writers. Yeah, if you look at the boxing books, they're all by non-specific boxing writers. They love boxing, but they don't only write about that. People like Jonathan Rendell, stuff like that. He's dead now. But I review his book, man. And you don't make no money for writing about boxing. In the old days, you used to have a specific boxing writer for every major newspaper, which is all lies anyway. Major newspapers just media lies anyway. They report the same stuff. They just report it slightly differently for the audience. Yeah. So boxing writers, there's no good boxing writers really, Yeah. They get it through links and friends and being annoying. People like Steve Burns, man. You can't tell me Steve Burns. Does he know a bit about boxing? Yeah, but so did like millions of people in the UK. Yeah. They don't get there because they can write, it's just because of their friends. There's a guy called Sri Kumar Sen. I don't know how he got the position. Affirmative action, maybe. At the Times, he was the boxing writer. Yeah? And he wrote an article about Nazim Hamid being the first Pakistani-born boxer to win a title. I mean, obviously Hamid's from Yemen, right? You don't know nothing about boxing, man. And also being a boxing writer, it sucks. Like most people think, oh, it'd be so great to work for boxing news or be a boxing writer, and because it's my passion. All I want to do is think about boxing, but it sucks the joy out of boxing if you're working it all the time. It's like, you get a chef, right? So you get a chef, and always spends all day cooking food out for people, and there's stress. Yeah, it has to be done on the clock. Like a boxing writer, it's got to be there. There's always, I want that copy in by now, right? So they lose the love. They lose the love for it. A chef, every chef I know, when he goes home, he orders a takeaway or gets a kebab. He's not going to cook for himself, man. And that goes for, there's some people who are obsessed. Harry Mullen was the last great boxing news editor. Yeah. He was obsessed. Do right? He got his he went to Denmark and got a hooker. And she drugged him, stole his wallet, and shaved his nutsack. So that when he got home with his wife, that's a bit harsh, but yeah, there's Claude Abrams. I don't know if you remember Claude Abrams. He was an ex. I don't know if he went pro, but he was an amateur. And then he did this article, which is basically just about himself. Let's be honest, reality is about himself. Oh, I spotted Nazim Hamid and he schooled me. Yeah? I don't know where he's gone. He doesn't write about boxing no more. Tris Dixon, yeah, a recent guy. He's written a couple of quite good books. I don't think he was the best. He's written a couple of quite good books. He always talks about himself, though. Yeah? He wants to be the tough guy. He tries to be a boxer and he's whack. But he's had a couple of half-decent books, but he can't write that well, man, As I said, most boxing books are rubbish. And then he was taken over by, and he's done some podcasts, Tris Dixon. I wish him luck. Matt Christie took over, a quite, ball-looking guy. He's never boxed. He started off well in the lockdown scenario. They did a lot of articles because nothing was happening, but basically he just sold himself the agenda because boxing news got bought, remember? So you got to just push women's boxing. Yeah. So, and people say, oh, Triple B, why are you criticising Matt Dixie and Tris Dixon? They're lovely guys. Hang on a minute, man. I'm not criticising them for not being good people. Criticized to be whack around about boxing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, let's imagine, right? Your house was on fire. Your mum's house was burning. Yeah? And you ring up the fire station and they send some firemen. They say, oh yeah, I'm real sorry, right? These guys don't even know how to turn on a hose, but they're lovely guys. Yeah? They won't put out your fire, but they're lovely guys. You'd be like, oh, that's okay then, thanks. I let my mum burn to death. I mean, obviously, I'm exaggerating a little, but, you're either good at your job or you ain't. It doesn't matter if you're a nice guy, man. Yeah, it's great you're a nice guy, but you're not boxing right. You're a rubbish, man. You should always be suspicious of people in any business, especially the boxing business. Yeah, whose greatest asset, and for when people talk about it, it's, they're a lovely guy. And it's like, he's a super writer. They're a super writer. They're great journalists. They really know their boxing. But they go, he's a lovely guy. You got a fraud there. It means they're useless and know nothing about boxing. No. Yeah, I went off on a bit of a tangent there. There's many of these people, man. There's many of these idiots. I'm going to be reviewing some books by a number of writers. There's some really good boxing books out there, but few. Very few. And none of them are recent, Jonathan Rendell wrote some good stuff. Can't remember the other guys' names. But I'll be reviewing some books because, there is still some good boxing literature there. It's just not a lot of it, And it hasn't been for years. Mostly people just roll out nonsense, They roll out these books which are basically just brown-nosing people. I'm not interested in no David Hay. Huh? No David Hay, like, what's it called? Biography, it's going to be rubbish. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, peace, man. Hughie Fury, it'll be rescheduled allegedly. I think the whole thing's a ticket issue. It's nothing to do with illness. But hopefully, it's still an interesting fight. And we got to get some other heavyweights coming up. We talk about Hughie, he's waiting for his man strike to become a joke in boxing. Because the reality is, I've been saying that for years, and he was young, but he's like 27 now, yeah. And we need some young heavyweights coming up. I don't know. I don't think Hughie's it. I don't know who is 27. Bakudir Jalolov is 27, but who else is there, man? I don't know, man. It's tragic, because boxing, whatever people say, boxing lives on the big heavyweight champions. If you've got a real big name, creating, controversy and then great fights, or at least has a name and some power with his name, they lift boxing. Peace in the Middle East.